Hello everyone and welcome to MERN lectures. This is lecture 3. In the previous lectures we have seen like HTML and introduction of MERN. So what this course is about, developing modern web applications, full stack application, browser, web server, storage system, and we would be using MERN stack. So in the today's lecture, basically we would talk about front-end programming and what are the web app frameworks. So we will discuss brief history of web applications, right? Initially static HTML files only with HTML forms for input, very basic one. And then we have CGI, Common Gateway Interface, in which certain URLs map to executable programs that generate web page. So program exits after web page complete. So CGI introduced the notion of stateless servers, right? We have one task, so we just send this task to the server and it will compute, and then it will have no record of the previous task that they have done. So Perl was typically used for writing CGI programs. So first generation web app frameworks. Examples could be PHP, ASP.NET, Java Servlets. They incorporate language runtime system directly into web server. So we would have servers. Templates, mixed code and HTML. HTML, CSS describes Vue in templates. So web specific library packages, there were so many web specific library packages were available in that languages to handle URL handling, HTML generation, sessions handling, interfacing to databases. So this was first generation web app frameworks. Then in second generation web app frameworks like Ruby on Rails or Django, right? Model view controller was utilized. We have discussed MVC in different courses so many times that it's stylized decomposition of applications in which we decompose our application into three-tier architecture. Okay, so in second generation web app, ORM was introduced. ORM makes like data tables and rows appears as classes and objects. So it simplifies the use of databases. Easier fetching of dynamic data. In third generation web app frameworks, example could be Angularjs. So JavaScript frameworks running in browser, right? More app like web apps or interactive, quick responding applications. And frameworks not dependent on particular server-side capabilities. Like if you are using Java Servlet web app, right, first generation web app framework, then you have to provide or write your server-side code in Java as well. But this sort of third generation web app framework does not require, or it's not dependent on particular server-side capabilities, right? That's why with AngularJS we can use Node.js, right? Or even we can connect it with some Python server as well. So many of the concepts of previous generations carry forward in the third generation, like model view controller, templates, HTML, CSS view descriptions. In MVC, like model is managing the application's data, right? Communication with the database thing. And view what the web page looks like, HTML, CSS. Controller basically it fetches models, and control view handle user interactions. So in view generation, web app ultimately need to generate HTML and CSS, right, for user interface or user interaction. Templates are commonly used techniques. So basic idea is that like write HTML document containing parts of the page that are always the same. So this is for template. Add bits of code that generate the parts that are computed for each page. Okay, and the template is expanded by executing code snippets, substituting the results into the document. Benefits of templates: easy to visualize HTML structure, easy to see how dynamic data fits in, can do either on server or browser. Controllers, like responsibilities, are connect models and views, control view templates, handle user interactions. Model data, all non-static information needed by the view templates or controllers. So technically your database controls, right? Or some business logic is there. So model data is using for that purpose. Traditionally tied to applications database schema, ORM, right? Web applications model data needs are specified by the view designers but need to be persisted by the database. Fourth generation web app frameworks. Examples are React.js that we would be learning in this course, VUE.js, and the second version of Angular. So many of the concepts of previous generations carry forward. Obviously, we would be using JavaScript in browser, MVC architecture, templates, that HTML/CSS things, right? In fourth generation web app frameworks, focus is on JavaScript components rather than pages or HTML. So Views apps assemble reusable components rather than pages, right? Software engineering focus, modular design, reusable components, testability. Virtual DOM, like render view into DOM-like data structure, not the real DOM. Benefits are great, like performance, server-side rendering, native apps, which could be running in different platforms. We can summarize this lecture. Uh, Web app started from HTML, very basic HTML thing. Then we were using CGI Perl-based scripts, right? Then in the first generation, we saw applications people were building in ASP.NET, PHP, or using Java servlets. Then in the second generation, Ruby on Rails or Django applications were famous. And in third generation, Angular was mostly dominated, right? But in the fourth generation, in the current web app frameworks, people are using Vue.js, React.js, and Angular version 2. In the next lecture, we would be starting React. So this is the end of this lecture. If you have any question or comments, you can write your comment in the YouTube comment area. And please like this video, share with your friends, and keep learning. Bye bye.